This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Right, there he is. How you feeling, baby? Feeling good?
Feeling good, man. How about you?
I can't complain, you know. Little dip in Bitcoin right now. So it's your job now to get it back over 100,000 now. I just went under 100,000. So
I will try my best.
Yeah, it was at 97 something. Now it's at 98. So, let's go. Let's you're the guy that does the pump. So let's go, bro. It's up to you right now to turn things around. You got to turn around Bitcoin over 100 grand, and you got to turn around the Canes. What's easier?
Probably Bitcoin.
Yes.
Because they are losing. They are losing a lot, and somehow I always make Bitcoin work. So I'm gonna just go with that.
Yes. Somehow you do. Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
So what's going on with the losses, the defections?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the guys that they're losing in the portal are not high quality guys. I know one of them just signed with Georgia, Jaden Harris, the safety, the third-year safety who started 12 games for them. But let's be honest, we looked at that safety position and that secondary in general this year, and it wasn't very good. So it was funny. I was having a conversation with the Georgia writer at The Athletic, Seth Emerson, who does a terrific job covering Georgia and the SEC, and he says to me, he says, what is it about this Jaden Harris guy? Like, why would Georgia take him? And I said, honestly, I don't even think he's Georgia material. I don't think he's Georgia Tech material. So, but for whatever reason, he's one of the latest guys to depart. And look, in the end, when you fire a defensive coordinator, guys are going to go running for the hills because, especially on that side of the ball, because they know whoever's coming in is going to look at that unit and say, hey, you're not meant to play here. We got to fix this. So it doesn't surprise me one bit. But, Mario, I think, has done a good job in the portal the last week. He's picked up important need positions. He got a center again, James Brockermeyer, who was a 12-game starter at TCU. He pulled in a tight end, Alex Bauman, to replace Riley Williams. Bauman's a big physical guy who played at Tulane. Tulane, is a G5 school, but they're one of the better G5 programs. He was a starter there, started 25 games. So he's filling needs. Is this roster still where it needs to be? Absolutely not, because you need to get a quarterback, and I don't know who that quarterback is going to be.
Yeah, that's obviously what everybody wants to know. Is there any rumors out there of guys they're trying to convince and all that kind of stuff? I got people telling me Quinn Ewers is a guy that they're trying to target. And is he going to go to the draft, or is he going to go back?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think Ewers, the rumor was that maybe he would end up at Michigan early on in the process. Michigan obviously spent $10 million on the best freshman in the country, Bryce Underwood, to come in. So I can't imagine that he'll end up there now. It just depends on what Ewers ultimately decides here. I think his draft stock could improve with a run to the national championship year. He's had sort of an up and down season, part of it affected by injuries, but if he becomes available, I'm willing to bet Miami would pay a high price to get Quinn Ewers here over what they've got in the building right now to come in and sort of have a Cam Ward type year here in South Florida is what they would sell him on. So I think he's a guy they look at. I think Carson Beck is another one that, we'll see ultimately whether or not he stays in the draft coming off that elbow injury or decides to come back to college to prove himself and to improve his draft stock. So I think those are the two guys right now that I would say are the most gettable in terms of if they decide not to go pro. And I think it has to almost be that same exact scenario as Cam Ward. I think a lot of the other guys that are out there are just guys. They're not super talented difference makers. So it is what it is. This is the team that Mario built. He counted on Emory Williams to come back and look good. And unfortunately, he looked terrible in that bowl game. Just did not look like a guy who could be your starting quarterback. So you hope that maybe in the offseason, the spring, there's some improvements made, and that this team runs the football a whole lot with some of the guys that they got in the backfield.
All right, defensive coordinator. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's interviewed several guys already for that position. The thing with Mario, and you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Oh, and I'm going to my notes here from some of the names that I've had here from conversations with different people. But he's talked to a couple guys. One of them is the Tennessee defensive coordinator, who I think is not going to end up here. Santucci from Georgia Tech is another one. He went into Georgia Tech, did a great job with that unit. Aaron Henry was another name, a guy with secondary experience. I think those are the three guys that three guys that pretty well known that have already spoken to Mario. But again, we know how Mario operates. He takes a long time. I think there's some NFL guys that he always likes to talk to year in and year out. Part of this is idea gathering and trying to figure out, who ultimately is the best fit. It's hard to convince NFL guys to come back to college now. So I don't know if that's going to ultimately work out, especially with all the bull crap you have to deal with the transfer portal and kissing kids' asses all the time. So I think, at some point he will make a decision and hire somebody. But I think to this point, he's still in the interview process.
All right. What else going on the recruiting side?
Well, look, they're going to end up getting in a bunch of freshmen here in January, right? Guys will start taking classes, participate in spring ball. The ones I'm most excited about ultimately are the freshman receivers, because that's a position that has to be filled. To this point, they've only got C.J. Daniels out of the transfer portal. They tried to get the Branch brothers from USC to come here. They ended up going to Georgia. But there's some talented receivers that are going to be walking in the door. Josh Moore from West Broward High School. He's a big 6'4", 205-pound guy. I think he's going to play a lot as a freshman. You look at the Malachi Tony from Plantation American Heritage. I think he was the player of the year here in South Florida. Kid that moved up from the 26 class, slot receiver, playmaker. So to me, there's going to be some fresh guys stepping on campus. And then, of course, their quarterback, Luke Nickel, who, you have to give him a shot. If Miami doesn't get anybody out of the transfer portal here, you would have to give that true freshman a chance to come in here and compete with Emory Williams, because Emory Williams didn't show you a lot. You have Judd Anderson, who was here for a year, but I don't know that he's the guy. He's more of a project, 6'7", big body type guy that probably needs a couple years of development before he gets that chance. So I think Luke Nickel will come in, and he'll be a guy that'll be interesting to watch once he sets foot on campus.
So what's your prediction for the games, for the semifinals?
Yeah, I'm in the process of picking that. Before the playoffs started, I had Ohio State and Notre Dame in the national championship game, with Ohio State winning.
I picked Ohio State winning it all, bro.
Yeah, I had Ohio State winning it all in August when I saw that roster they were putting together. Then they went out and they shit the bed against Michigan and got everybody scared. But the reality is Ryan Day has that offense humming now. Chip Kelly, I think, was saving a little bit of the stuff that he was running during the regular season for the postseason. Coaches tend to do that. Good ones do anyway. And so you're seeing Jeremiah Smith line up in places that he didn't do in the regular season. And that guy clearly, I think if he were to come out now, I know he's only a true freshman, but if that guy were to come out now, I think he'd definitely be a top 5 pick just in terms of talent and ability. So he's one of the rare ones that you would maybe make that exception for. So they just have a stacked team. Talent-wise, and they're playing very, very well. Their quarterback, Will Howard, is doing a really good job distributing the football. So I got Ohio State and Notre Dame winning this week. I think Notre Dame's defense is really, really good. You got to give Al Golden credit for what he's done. Penn State's got a solid team.
And the running game, bro, the Notre Dame's running game gives them the foundation so they can, because their passing game isn't like scary, but it's right. But it's good enough.
Yeah, no, I mean, Riley Leonard can make plays with his feet and keep you honest, and then every now and then he'll make a throw or two. But their running game and just the way they control the football really is what it's about. They'll ball control the hell out of you, and then you got to make plays on that great defense that Al Golden has out there. So it's a tough. That's going to be a slugfest. That's going to feel like an old school football game. Thursday night at the Orange Bowl. I'll be there to cover that game. Those are my 2 picks, man, and I think ultimately Ohio State wins it all.
You and I agree. I'm going Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State winning it all. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. That's exactly it. All right. What do you got going on The Athletic? So folks can subscribe, my friend.
Well, I'm going to do my season wrap up here on the Canes, my final thoughts on 2024 and looking ahead to 25. Just give you my my final report on the season and what I think. I haven't written that yet. I will be doing that soon. And in fact, I'm recording a session today with a couple of the people from the ACC network. They're going to have me on their podcast. Eric McLean, who does TV, he's a good dude, former Clemson offensive lineman. So I'll have that and plenty of transfer portal stuff and Orange Bowl coverage. That's what I'm doing this week.
All right, good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, have a fantastic week, my friend. We'll catch up on Friday.
All right, brother. Take care.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The great Manny Navarro coming through for you. Caneswear, Brett and all the great people at Caneswear get anything and everything practically with the Canes logo on it. You need you want a neon sign for your bar? They got it. You want a beautiful replica of the Orange Bowl? They got it. Jerseys, shirts, hats, magnets, flags, you name it. Heat gear, Dolphins gear, Panthers gear, InterMiami gear. They got it all for you, man. So get on down there, check it out. What else am I missing? Canes. No, all five. There you go. All five. Canes were at Miami Fanware, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off. And if you order online, you will get free shipping over $99. Caneswear.com.